Welcome back to OCR MEI for the Mathematics B. Today we're doing chapter 6.3, mean value of a function. And once again, this topic, the mean value of a function, is new content to A-level third maths. Although it is relatively straightforward and could have been granted kind of common sense back then, it's never asked. So yeah, now we're going to talk about how to find the mean values of functions. So what exactly does taking the mean actually mean? No pun intended. So in order to take a mean value of a function, we need to, in order to take a mean value of a set of data, as we have done before during GCSE or something, you add up all the components, then you divide by the total number of components. For functions, they are continuous, so technically you can do that, but with integration you can. The standard equation for finding the mean of a function is defined as 1 over b take a, where b and a are the limits of the function, from a to b of a function fx or fy, dx or dy. So yeah, let's take a look at sine x as our fx, because sine is a continuous function that oscillates, and so we can have a lot of different means. So let's take that, and depends on the limits, we can have different solutions. First of all, like I usually do, I do love a good graph. Okay, so this is sine from 0 to 2 pi, working in radians because we're integrating. Let's first of all start from a 2 pi take naught. So we are taking over the full oscillation, and what we expect is the volume or the area on top is equal to the area below, which means that the mean value, when you sum them together, you get 0. Let's check that out. Integrating this, we have 1 on 2 pi. Integrate of sine x is minus cos x from 2 pi to 0 dx. And what we know, when we put in 2 pi on cos and 0 on cos, we get 1 take 1, gives us 0. Straightforward, very straightforward. Now, if we want to go fancy, we can stop it at pi. So let's try that out. So we have 1 on pi, take 0, integrate from 0 to pi of sine x. Same function, except we don't have the negative domain, so we expect something in the range of 0 to 1, because max value is 1, right? So let's try that. Integrating sine gives us minus cos, and we have pi and 0, 1 on pi. From that we have cos pi is minus 1, 0 is minus 1, 1 on pi. Well, that's interesting. We get a negative value of minus 2 on pi, which indeed is below 1. The negative sign, I need to check. Oh, it's minus negative 1, so you might add 1. There we go, so it should be plus 2 on pi. Well, algebraic errors happens a lot. Make sure you check your answers and to find a value that makes sense. Not like me. I should have done this on paper before, but I didn't, so Anyway, this is a reasonable value for the mean. 2 on pi somewhere here, I think. So it's more than half, which makes sense because there are more volume below half than above half. So everything works out fine. And if we are fancy, we can try pi on 2 as well, but I'm out of space or mental energy because of this algebraic error. Again, apologies for that. But yeah, basically this is means of functions. So something I have to stress is that the mean have no meaning if you do not define the domain. So I couldn't ask you, oh, what is the mean of e to the x? That has no mean because it's not defined. What you would have to do is to say, oh, what is e to the x, where x is from 0 to 5 or something like that. Technically a domain, if you want to define it, you can define it to infinite. That only occurs in some very limited cases. And I don't think the example is gonna torture you guys through that, so don't worry about them. Make sure you also check that your solution makes sense, don't make algebraic errors like I have done in the example section, because with a certain plot you would be able to tell if the mean is going to be positive or negative, and if you make an error you might flip the sign, you might have cancelled everything accidentally and you get 0 somehow, and it's just not going to work out well. So make sure you check everything. So the questions are shown here. Find the mean of the following functions. So these 2 questions should get you started on practicing how to find the mean of a function. And as usual, I'll give you 5 seconds to pause and do the questions. So I will tell you the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here we have the answer. Question 1, very straightforward. Question 2, use the double angle formula and you should be able to get 0 because it's a cosine of 2x. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you have learned something. If you have any questions to do with the mean values of functions, let me know in the comment section below. And for now, thank you for watching and I will see you on my next one.